I've had the advantage of, because of my age, being able to see a lot of the increases that have happened in technology. And technology has definitely had its advantages and it's had its disadvantages. Ask my wife, for instance, and one of her pet peeves is seeing me at a table with my phone and looking at, my emails or Facebook or something like that. But technology definitely has its advantages. And one of the things that I love about this is a smartphone, is the fact that rather than it just be a phone where we just talk to another person, it actually is a small computer. It can, like I said, send and receive emails. I can get on the internet. You can play games. I can keep track of my calendar. I have all of my contact information. So if I do need to reach anybody, I can do it. So as I said, there's a lot of advantages. We can also include our music on these things. But one of the features that I love best about this is what's called Bluetooth feature. Now, Bluetooth is its ability of sending a signal, a wireless signal, to another device. For instance, in my car, I can connect this to the car and it sends this wireless signal. So I can actually hear a phone. I can send and receive the call through the stereo system of my vehicle, which the advantage is then I can focus on driving and talk and be less distracted, where it's actually illegal in many states. It is in my state to be talking on a phone. The other thing that I love about the Bluetooth feature is the fact that I can send music to my stereo system at home. So we do fellowship, we have people over, all kinds of things. We can just run the stereo through this. Well, what happens, now bear with me, this is a spiritual message, so it's not a technological advertisement. But in order for me to connect to my stereo, this phone has to do what's called syncing. And what it's doing is it's sending a signal and the device on the other end is receiving the signal and they're connecting. It's called being paired. So when the signal is connected, usually the stereo or the phone in my car will say, or the stereo in my car will say, "You are now paired." It's kind of funny because it's usually a female voice and it'll come across and says, "You are now paired." And occasionally at home, the stereo will just say that randomly. If I've left the room and come back in the room and the phone is in my back pocket, then it reconnects. Well, the other day I got the signal, "You are now paired." And I thought how interesting that is. I saw a parallel between this physical device and our spiritual realm. And what it just reminded me of is my need to be paired with God, my need to be synced with God. I need to be on a daily basis on the same frequency as God. And I believe that God oftentimes is sending out his signal. He's trying to communicate. But if I'm not synced and I'm not paired, if I'm not on the same frequency, I can't receive it. And so I want to just encourage you to daily take the time to get paired with your Father, to be in sync with him. It's not a big deal. A lot of times it's just a matter of changing our thinking and having God in the front part of our brain. But I believe if we do that, if we take time to get paired with God, that our day will go a lot better and that we'll be in a position as we communicate with God and him communicating to us to be encouraged and to be able to reach others for Christ, which after all must be our goal.